And what better way to finish off the last episode of this current series with an ultimate beautiful Irish classic of bread and butter pudding, Treyvaud style. So simple, guys. Trust me, you will be running in the kitchen tomorrow to make this. It's an absolute cracker. Let's get started. It's so simple. All we need, guys, is one sliced pan. And what we do is take off the crusts. Now, bread and butter pudding was originally used for getting rid of stale bread. But do you know what? Let's use fresh bread this time because it just makes it that little bit lighter and softer. And trust me, that's the difference of Treyvaud's bread and butter pudding. So just take off the crusts, very simple, sharp knife right down. You won't believe how easy this is. Now keep that. I'm gonna put in my dish here for breadcrumbs, and you can use it for stuffing and stuff like that. So waste nothing. Okay, how easy is this? Let's have a quick talk about what we've got in here. We have a dish inside a dish, and in between there's a little bit of water. And that's what's known in the game as a bain-marie. And the reason why we're cooking the bread and butter pudding in that is very, very simple. It's because it's kind of gonna steam it as well. Because if we just put it into a dry oven, it's gonna burn on us. So that's what the water will come up and keep it all nice and soft and moist. And that is the ultimate bread and butter pudding. So it's simple as this. Get some soft butter and just basically put it on your bread. And don't worry about the bottom pieces, guys, because it's the top that's gonna be our presentation. So it's as simple as this. Put it in, look at that, it fits perfect. Treyvaud, you must have done this before. Well, you guys are gonna be making it as soon as you see the finished product, trust me. So we just go in like this, absolutely beautiful. Create a little layer. Now, you can see we're getting to the end of the pot. So just simple, guys, just cut the bread in half and squeeze it in there. Don't worry, doesn't have to be perfect at all. It's just the top one we're gonna take care a little bit. Now, I wanna talk to you about what we're putting into it. We're kind of making a custard. It's as simple as that. So we get a bowl. How much custard are you making, Treyvaud? I know, it was the only bowl I could find, so who cares? Let's get it in here. 6 eggs, fresh eggs. Now, crack them in, and you'll be able to see this. So what we do is we basically put our eggs in, 6 eggs, 250 grams of sugar, and a liter of pouring cream. Treyvaud, you give us the recipe to everything. Why? Because I want you making it at home, guys. Don't worry, my cookbook will be out soon. Now, get all those eggs in, nice and simple. And all we need to do is get a whisk. And there's nothing complicated, guys. Eliminate the fear. We did an episode on taking out the fear. You're making custard, Treyvaud. It's a simple, simple task to make. 6 eggs, in we go, whisk them up like that. And then we put in our 250 grams of just regular granulated sugar, or caster sugar, it's fine. In we go. Beautiful. And lads, I tell you all the time, eggs, they're different in size. We might have a little bit left over, so don't worry about it. So we just, again, whisk that up. So simple. What a way to finish an absolute classic episode. It's as easy as this. Now I'm gonna add in just a couple of drops of regular vanilla essence, okay? Because we wanna keep it simple. So we're talking about maybe half a capful. Just drop it in. It's quite strong, it's quite potent, perfect. So whisk the vanilla essence in with the eggs and the sugar. And get our cream. Like I said, guys, just a liter of regular pouring cream, and we just pour that straight in. What else do we have to do, Treyvaud? That's it. That's our custard made. It's gonna bake in the oven, and we're gonna put it in at about 160 degrees. So not all the way up at 180, 160 degrees, because we want the bread to absorb it all in and go nice and soft. So whisk it up. So let's talk about layers. Put our custard to a side there for 1 second, and you can put anything you want. I've gone chocolate chip, but just because it's Treyvaud style, I'm gonna do 2 types of chocolate chip. We got very simple white chocolate like that, and we've also got our dark chocolate chips. And guys, you can use whatever you want. There's absolutely no problems. And I'm also gonna throw in just a couple of our sultanas because they just soften up so beautifully and it goes perfectly with it. So here's what we do. Look, just sprinkle it on. This couldn't be easier. It really couldn't be easier. And again, it just shows it's an old classic. stands the test of time, these dishes do. And we just pour it in like this. And again, remember, it's our ancestors that came up with this, a great way to get rid of anything that was left over at the end of the day or the end of the week. And a little sprinkle of our dark chocolate. And guess what we do? We do it all over again. Now, I have to admit, this is a massive family favorite here in the Treyvaud household. Be generous with your butter, guys. Put it in. We're going all over again. We're gonna layer it up until that bread is gone. Now, let's go again with another layer. So we're gonna sprinkle on our chocolate. Lovely. A little bit more chocolate. How much is in there, Treyvaud? There's about 80 grams of each, guys. But if you have 120, if you have 150, it makes absolutely no difference. You just got a little bit more in there. And a few more sultanas like that. You can use raisins too, no worries at all. And now, let's just finish up our top layer. Do you know what? I hate waste. Let's get that chocolate in as well, guys. There's no point leaving it behind unless you wanna stick the finger in and try some. Look at this. You just know this is going to be so good. You cannot go wrong with this. Now, here's the difference. On the last one, turn your butter upside down, okay? So this goes down like this, and we pat it down. Last bit. And you're saying, Treyvaud, that's a lot of butter. Ah, it's not. We're probably putting in about 4 ounces, but don't forget, there's enough here for at least 8 people, at least, or 4 of me. And it's only gonna take 25 minutes in the oven, maybe 30, we keep an eye on it just to make sure. Ovens differ all the time, guys. So if I say it takes 25 minutes, like just check it after 25 minutes. If it's still not fully cooked, just leave it another 3 or 4, okay? So in we go, nearly there. And now here's what we do. A little bit of jigsawing. Get the kids involved. You know they're gonna love this. Pat it down. Put it into the side. It all squeezes in there nicely. Now. And we just fit in our last piece. Look at that. Soft, moist. And now we just add in our custard. So bring your dish over. And it takes a few minutes. Don't rush it in because remember, you want it to absorb, so it takes a few minutes. So put it in by the ladleful and just let it all soak into the bread. Get rid of that whisk. You've done your job, thank you. Oh, yes. And just take your time. Let it all seep in there. Beautiful. And this will take a minute, guys, because as it's soaking up, you think it's full, but the bread will absorb it all up, and then you'll fit in a little bit more. But remember, guys, I said the eggs, sometimes they differ in size, so we might be left with a little bit. Beautiful. Okay, I'm happy with that. We've got enough. Just don't be afraid, guys. Touch it, don't be afraid. Okay, it's softened up. Give it a second. It will take a bit more. Let's give that a second just to absorb, and we'll finish off the rest. After it's absorbed in, all our custard goes into an oven, 160, remember. The bain-marie is gonna keep it nice and moist, and we're gonna take it out after about 25 minutes. We'll check it then. So in we go. And you're just hit with the smell of the vanilla and the melted chocolate straight away. Let's see what we have here. Oh, to perfection. We have done it again. We have absolutely done it again. Let's bring it over here. Be careful now because this is going to be quite hot. Now, look at this. So let's see what we were looking for. Remember, it's all nice and moist and spongy. Oh my God, I can see mothers and fathers and grandparents around the country saying, Treyvaud, thank you so much for recreating this absolute classic. And what are we going to serve with it? Nothing. Do you know why? Because it's all in there. The custard's in there, the cream's in there, everything is in there. It is so soft. Let's just cut. You're just hit with the smell of the chocolate. Let's take this bad boy out. Oh yes, I am now getting so excited. Look at it. Look at this. Oh. I tell you what, guys, just give a little sprinkle of icing sugar over on top, just for that little bit of decoration.